Have you ever had a dream that you were going after? Maybe it was climbing that corporate ladder, or maybe starting your own business. I mean, I've had lots of dreams, and I'm lucky enough, or I've worked hard enough to tell you I've fulfilled most of those dreams, from promotion after promotion to starting my own business and growing that. I had this dream that lasted 30 years, year after year. I would say to my husband, someday, yes, someday, I'm going to live on Fort Myers Beach. I'm going to walk the beach every day and listen to the ocean waves and never take that gift for granted. And I did it. I fulfilled that dream in October of 2021. The problem with the dreams is that they don't always play out like we imagine. I'm sure you all have had dreams. Did they turn out how you thought? Was the grass actually greener on the other side of the road? 11 months to the day that we moved into our dream condo on Fort Myers Beach, Hurricane Ian hit the island. And it didn't just kind of hit the island, it hit the island in a category 5 sort of disruption. I like to speak about disruption because it's about change, it's about interruption, it's about understanding and not letting it define you. You see, for me, what I want to teach people first is what is the difference between an interruption and disruption? Well, first of all, when you're having a bad hair day, like people like me with the natural curly hair, well, that's an interruption. When you're losing your hair due to chemo, well, that's a disruption. How about getting stuck in traffic and you get so frustrated? That's only an interruption unless you turn it into a disruption, but the disruption is the car accident that happened that slowed down traffic. Or how about when change happens in your organization and you are resistant? I don't like change. I don't want to learn a new system. But what if you realize that's just an interruption? A disruption is the pink slip that you or your best friend get when your company goes through layoffs. You see, for me, I like to teach people that disruption's coming, but if we're prepared and if we accept where we need to be with some great tools for self-care in the midst of it, we can get through it. And not just get through it, we can soar above it. So I like to teach people how to choose to soar, and I love acronyms because in my ADHD dyslexic brain, it helps me be able to be clear so I can teach you how to understand how to face the disruptions, change, and challenges that come to your life. So I use the acronym STORMS. And the first S is about shock. Sometimes you feel like you're in shock and you're sad and you're like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? It's okay to be sad. It's even okay to be in shock for a moment as the rug gets ripped from underneath you. Then we have to move on. We can't just stay stuck in the storm, in the sadness. I would tell people after the hurricane, I am safe, but I am not okay. I was safe when I got off the island. I wasn't okay for a long time. It's been 7 months and I'm still building back. Whatever storm you have gone through, disruption, it might take you time. And that's the second letter. The T stands for being on your own timetable, that there's not one right way to process. I've had a lot of friends that lost their spouse and half the world told them, don't date, you need to wait. While the other half told them, get on with your life. Who gets to decide what timetable we need to be on as we deal with the disruptions in our professional, personal, and literal life? That's your own timetable. There's no right time, and it's not all the same for all of us. How about the R? Reliable relationships. The people that you can count on. Now, I got to say that I am so immensely grateful for my friends from the National Speakers Association and Cigar Peg that stepped in, that stood in the gap when I didn't have anything and I didn't know how to move forward. The people that show up when you go through those disruptions. I remember I worked for a financial institution and I was there for 9 years, 5 promotions. And during that time, I remember that even though I never got laid off during the 3 sets of layoffs, watching my friends lose their job, being able to surround them, sit with them, pour into them and say something better is waiting. We need each other. We need those relationships. Sometimes just to sit with us and sometimes to pour into us and refill us when we're burnt out, we're exhausted, we're depleted, and we have even forgotten how to take care of ourselves. Who are your 2 to 3 reliable relationships when disruption strikes? How about the O? The O is about keeping an open mind. It's about keeping your mind open to the lessons you can learn, to the things you're not seeing, to the good in the midst of the darkness. Now, when I walk on the beach, if I look to the left, I see the ocean waves. Yesterday morning, I was walking at 6:30 in the morning, and there were 2 dolphins wrestling. But if I look to the right, it's still devastation and destruction. One thing I know about our mind is it's so powerful. And when we look for, we will always find. So we have to pay attention to what we're looking for. Are you paying attention? Are you keeping your mind and your heart open to the good in the midst of the hard, to the healing in the midst of where we could get stuck? And the M's about a motivated mindset. A motivated mindset is, how do you keep your mind motivated? So I talk about what's in your medicine cabinet. Is there drugs? Is there alcohol? Is there caffeine? Is there Advil? How do you get through the day? Or is it music and movement and laughter and people you love? Is it the good things in life? Is it celebrating the little moments and the big moments on your journey to getting to where you want to go, to fulfilling your dream professionally or personally? And the final S is about soaring. A lot of times people will say to me, Annie, I'm a survivor, I'm going to thrive. And those are good. I'm not saying anything bad about them. But I have journeyed through being a unicorn and a butterfly and a pineapple for a variety of different reasons over the last 20 years. And what I realized is I want to soar above. Do you know that an eagle flies into the storm? I hope you will join me in choosing to soar. I'm Annie Meehan, and I'd love to work with you.
Thank you so much, Annie. That was great. I've never thought about the distinction between disruption and interruption before. That was pretty amazing. Thank you so, so much.